I just wanted to make sure.
It should be live.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Yep.
Charlene Hayes. Here. Susan Schneider.
Present.
Dean Delaney.
Present.
And Michael George.
Here.
Okay, everybody have a chance to look at the agenda. I'd like to have a motion to approve them.
Motion that we approve the agenda from May 15th. Second.
For the agenda for what? For today?
Oh, today.
We can.
Today's not.
Second.
It's a long month.
I get you.
All in favor?
Okay.
Aye. And I'll have a motion for the minutes of May 13.
Yes. A motion. Approve. Second.
All in favor?
This is June. Aye.
Aye.
This is June.
I think we're a little slept happy today.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay,
I don't know what this name one got stuck in there.
we ready? Okay. Greetings, staff, Board of Trustees, and citizens of Sunrise Beach. I would like to mention a few things in my message tonight. Please be patient with our public works group, including LOE. They have been inundated with issues concerning our already aging water and wastewater system. And I am sure, as everyone knows, we have a very small staff of 2. This means one person is trying to cut overhanging tree branches, fix potholes, make sure everyone has water and sewer running smoothly. And of course, it's not dry enough to start cutting grass in the ditches, but it's coming pretty soon with these couple hot days. We will have discussions about getting some help in the field, maybe summer help. The water sewer billing system is working great. Please try to use the payment system to prevent late payments. Our clerk is working hard to have our 6-month financials available at 6 months, which happens to be next month. I will be going to SEMA, which is the State Emergency Management. It's the FEMA of the state. Anyway, they are needing someone to train to read the flood maps that they are creating. So I guess I got that job. I'm also going to be attending a meeting about data centers. We want to be proactive on our zoning codes, so we are prepared if the request comes to the village, which it probably will. We are pushing to get the Beechwood paved as soon as possible. And while on the topic of work on the streets, please slow down when you see our equipment with the flashing lights on. We really don't want our staff to be harmed because of a lot of the speeding that's going on the streets. We do have a full schedule, so I will end by saying thank you to the citizens who offer kind words to our hardworking staff. We try hard to make Sunrise Beach a great place to live. If anybody has any comments or questions, please call or email any of the board members. Okay, do we have visitors' comments tonight?
No.
No? Okay, thank you. How about the chief of police's report?
It's a long one this month, guys.
It's a long one.
It's a long, bittersweet one. So in the month of May, Sunrise Beach Police Department responded to 201 calls for service, performed 1,464 self-initiated activities, issued 95 citations, 157 warnings, almost double and triple last month. Bittersweet part is Lieutenant Kinsley has officially submitted her resignation and will be leaving the Sunrise Beach Police Department this week. Lieutenant Kinsley has served the department village with dedication, professionalism, and care since November 22. During her time with the department, she's contributed to many important areas, including leadership, administration, evidence management, training, community involvement, and most importantly, officer wellness. We wish Lieutenant Kinsley the very best in her future endeavors. Officer Gregory, who's attending tonight, is continuing her field training, showing very strong progress and getting really great reviews from her training officer. Most recently, she conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle for no license plates. The investigation that ensued resulted in her searching the vehicle and locating 61 grams of methamphetamine, which can be anywhere from $6,000-$7,000 street value. You catch that? Last week, I got to attend the FBI LEDA Executive Training Conference. There's an amazing conference, absolutely the best training I've been to. We even received a special shout out from the FBI Deputy Director, Andrew Bailey, who also used to be our Attorney General's office. Conference brought together nearly 700 law enforcement leaders from across the country to focus on the challenges facing modern PDs. Training and discussion topics included executive leadership, organizational structure, officer wellness, recruitment, retention, accountability, communication, community trust, leading agencies through change. While at the conference, I had the opportunity to participate in multiple discussions, brainstorming with law enforcement leaders ranging from Eagle, Colorado, with a handful of officers to leaders from Columbus, Ohio, where they have 2,000 sworn officers. These contacts and brainstorming sessions were truly invaluable. I was able to do many different meetings where I kind of told them what was going on with the changes in our department with losing a lieutenant and my vision moving forward with the department. So it was really nice to have those people to bounce those ideas off. The resigning of Lieutenant Kinsley has caused some anxiety in the department. However, I've assured our officers that we have a really good plan moving forward. When I became chief almost 4 years ago, I structured the department the same way it was structured. I structured it the same way other departments around the lake were structured because that's the way it's always been done. Over the last 4 years, with all the training I've had, especially with FBI LEDA, it's shown that that is not the best way for our department. So with her resignation, I'm taking the opportunity to evaluate the department's current structure and make changes that better fit the current and future needs of the PD. I believe we now have an opportunity to move toward a less top-heavy and more modern structure that improves supervision, accountability, efficiency, and service while reducing payroll costs and keeping costs low as possible. The structure I'm planning on moving forward with would have a day shift and a night shift officer, opposite rotation, reporting to one of two sergeants. Those two sergeants would then report directly to me. This creates a clear first line leadership. Supervision provides officers with more direct support and increases accountability across the shifts, as the sergeants will work a mid shift, working in between the day shift and the night shift officers. A key part of this transition, however, is adding a civilian administrative employee to assist with paperwork, records reporting, evidence-related documentation, public records requests, court prosecutor support, so on and so forth. The civilian position would also help keep costs lower when compared to filling every need that they would do and that we currently do with sworn personnel, or how it's been me. This will allow me to take a lot of that administrative stuff that I was doing and that Lieutenant Kinsley was doing and push that to that civilian employee, again, freeing us up to be more engaged with the officers, the community. My goal is to have the civilian administrative position filled within the next couple weeks. We've received a lot of feedback on it so far. My plan is next week to start doing interviews on that. The additional law enforcement positions are still planned for this fall, consistent with the plan discussed with the passage of the law enforcement sales tax. This phased approach allows us to address immediate administrative needs now while continuing to prepare for additional sworn staffing later this year, rather than simply filling a vacancy, because that's always how it's been done. I believe this is the right time to evaluate the department structure and build a model that better serves our officers, village, and the public. One of the primary reasons I'm looking at doing the administration spot right now is that's the biggest gap left open by lieutenant leaving. Also, with us having an officer in training already, it's going to be a lot easier and quicker for me to find an experienced clerk or someone that I could drop in that position and quickly train them versus an officer on a full FTO process. Update on the 2026 Durango that we bought back in January. Still waiting. Hopefully it's done I know you guys are tired of hearing of it in the next week or two. May was a very busy month. Continued service, leadership development, transition, planning for the future of the department. While personnel changes always create challenges, they're providing the opportunity to evaluate how we operate and how we can better serve the community. All the officers remain committed to professionalism, accountability, fiscal responsibility, and building a strong department that is prepared to meet the growing and future needs of the village.
I like the idea of the civilian clerk a lot. I think that when I have been learning about all the reporting and the evidence logging and all the stuff that they have to do, I didn't realize they had so much paperwork. So I kind of like that. And I happened to be here the day a man came in with a bag full of drugs because there was no one at the police department. So I think it's a good idea to have somebody at the police department all the time, during the day anyway.
And this would be a Monday through Friday, 8 to 4 position if they were working lunch, 8 to 5 otherwise. And it would have someone there to, when people come in, answer the door, talk to them, help them with minor needs, and get an officer if needed. The biggest part of that is not only is it a huge benefit to the public for somebody to actually be there when they go there, but it's going to keep our officers on the streets where they need to be. If someone comes in, they have something simple question that the clerk can answer, they're going to be able to answer it or help with the medication rather than an officer that may be working patrol or responding to incidents.
I just noticed that I was looking at the first agenda, not the second agenda. We did have closed meeting minutes that I need a motion to accept.
Motion to accept and approve. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Sorry about that. So I won't report my message. And neither will the chief. Okay, department reports, Eloise? Eloise?
I'm like hiding back there. Okay, so we've had a very big month. Just to put it in perspective, our water usage has gone up by 500,000 gallons in the last 30 days. So keep that in mind. People are here, right? They're using water, they're using the utilities. That being said, our water loss is down from 47% to 41%. So we're pumping more, we're serving more, but we're losing less. This is good. In regards to operations, we're kind of at the point now to where you hold steady, no special projects get done because it's crisis level 10 and it feels like once a week. So we did have a major water repair down at Old Sunrise Acres. They had roughly 150,000 gallons flow through their meter, not into their home. So we dug that up, repaired that correctly, it stopped the leak immediately. We still have that one lost meter we're looking for. We'll get to it eventually. Every time we think we find it, it's something else. That being said, we have, I say we, Dahlia has successfully collected on one of the lost meter accounts that we identified the owner. We began collections and they're current and, you know, it was a mistake. They were very apologetic. And we actually had a multi-month past due account that is now caught up and paid in full as well. So we're getting those to zero and we're keeping on track. We did have 13 shutoffs on this last shutoff cycle. It's a little bit larger than normal, but there's a lot of real estate transitioning happening right now. And so it's what really ends up happening is they just don't know where the clear cutoff for closing is in relation to the utility bill. So these things happen. That being said, our water and sewer income was up by $4,000 versus the last billing cycle. So all moving in the right direction. Wastewater plus. That one's been fun. So the lift station is fully operational. Singing Oaks lift station, we're gonna have continuing conversations about that. Essentially, we repaired it. We're operational on one side. We have the parts to repair the second side of it. That being said, when the pumps, it's a fiberglass tank. When the pumps kick on, it flexes the tank. And that tank's already showing signs of wear and tear. So we're gonna have to have a long-term in place about what we're gonna do ultimately with that, because development is planned on that tank, so. That being said, we'll get it repaired, so it's operational now, but we'll get it repaired so it operates correctly as designed for now, but the development will be an issue. We have a grinder tank, a residential grinder tank that was not properly connected to the city, that got repaired. We had a grinder tank that required a complete overhaul. Nothing was right there. It's all right now. And we had one other grinder that was an overflow into the lake. When we do that, we collect lake water samples to test for E. coli to show us the level of concern we're dealing with on the overflow. The E. coli samples all came back clean. They caught it fast enough and alerted us that we didn't have any type of major contamination issue. And that is an electrical issue on the homeowners, so they are working together to get that resolved. That being said, we also had a large wastewater leak. I'm sure you guys all saw us over at Papa's Pit Stop, working down there with shovels. That was an adventure, and the cleanup portion of that was downhill into some of the bike trails and the adjoining property. So a lot of off kind of road remediation, so to speak. And what that looks like is we filed a report with DNR, and they have all kinds of information that got filed in a timely fashion. Line was spread on anything that was on the ground in order to neutralize the raw waste. The other thing that we went ahead and did is we went downhill to the Hawk Lake waters and collected E. coli samples there. Those also came back clean. So that is resolved as well. So it's been a big month for us. If you guys have any detailed questions about that, just reach out to us. Like I said, right now we're just kind of holding steady. We're not moving forward on any special projects or anything. We're just trying to get through the summer. Okay.
Yeah, I have a question.
Sure.
So out of all the potable water that we're shipping out, 41% of that is not being paid. Where's it going?
If you find a leak, let me know. So it can be anywhere. It can be illegal connections. It can be a meter not functioning properly. And so what meters are designed to do, they will never read high. They will always almost read low when they fail. So we could have failed meters that we're just not catching. We could have a legitimate water leak. The one that we repaired at Sunrise Acres was inside the meter pit, and the connection to the meter yoke itself had just popped apart by like this much, but it was enough that we lost that amount of water in 4 days. It was huge. Sometimes they're not that easy to find, and so as time goes on and we get the metering situation more under control, find these leaks and go ahead and start. So one of the continuing projects we have is we're going to start working through the Oak Ridge meters. They're some of the oldest meters in the system, and start gradually replacing
So
them.
how many gallons? You said 41% last month.
And Scott stole my board report.
So it's 445,000 gallons that we had, right?
So yeah, that's the one I want. So total gallons sold was 1,621,000.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thanks. So 41% of that is water loss.
That's how many gallons we're missing. Or we're not billing for.
Well, okay, let me backtrack that because that's actually incorrect. So this report is based off of actual billing. So that's how much we bill.
So 1,621,000 gallons is what we bill.
What you bill for, correct. Now, that being said, it looks like we're gonna have an account, somebody's gonna request forgiveness.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah, that is water that's accounted for, that flows through the meter. Then what we do is we take the master meter from each well, total gallons sold. I think.
So basically, you have a master meter on each well.
Mhm.
That's how much water is pumped.
That's how much is produced, yes.
Okay, and that number minus this number is what we're missing. So that amount minus 1,621,000 gallons.
And it's not, but don't think of it from the aspect of like wear and tear on the system, right? Because it's not always that it's just water flowing into the ground. So for example, we had the 2 lost meters that were actively using water. We located those, now that's accounted for in this number.
Okay.
So it's not always just that it's actual true leaks. It can be bookkeeping issues, and that's why we've made such a push to try and get that solid so that we can then start focusing on legitimate operational issues.
Okay, so what's the, out of all the wells, how many gallons is that?
Most people don't ask these questions, I'm glad you are. Right, most people just wanna see the percentage and that's how we gauge it. So,
What?
2,750,805 gallons. Between both wells.
You know, what I would like to know is, I'm seeing on here that we collected $53,000 last month, 25 on water, or, I'm sorry. Yep, 25 on sewer and 28 on water. I'd love to see what that number looked like 6 months ago. You know, like being able to compare. I don't think you can because you've switched systems. But you know, the thing about it is when we first started having Caitlin come into these meetings, they were missing how many? 70 meters.
75.
So our
Right.
water income has to be up, way up, if you ask me. Plus the fact that and part of the reason that the gallons missing and everything, wouldn't it have to do with all the damaged sewer things that we've been fixing? Because wouldn't water go while, no?
No,
Okay.
at the point that it gets to me for a repair, it's already been accounted for through a meter.
Through a meter, okay, I got you.
So.
Huh.
So we switched systems in March, and I can tell you.
Even however far back you got in front of you, it'd just be interesting to see how much we have increased our
So
income.
total gallons, so this would be back in March, which is the farthest back I have on the newest system, right? Total water revenue was 21,000 and sewer was 19.
What was the time frame on that?
That was back in March,
March of this year.
yes.
Say the numbers again.
Total water, drinking water was 21,500.
Okay.
Total sewer revenue was 19,000.
So there's 7,000 and there's 6,000. So I mean,
So income, I know you guys are kind of with this, income is difficult to judge off of because of seasonal use, right?
yeah,
So right now we're pumping more water, yes, people are filling pools, we're irrigating, we're washing boats, we're doing all the fun summer things that draw people to us. Hence, income's up. That being said, you have a base allowance of 4,000 gallons. You go over that, I see it. You see it, you get charged.
right.
The people who would normally be 1,000 gallons who decide that they're gonna fill a kiddie pool a few times a week have now become 3,500. So under that base allotment, they are using.
I'm just hoping that with all of the repairs of the older equipment and all the meter fines and all the things you guys have been doing over the last 4 months, 5 months, we have to start seeing much more income in water and sewer.
I think that when we get through this season of repairs. She's been there with us right every time. So, and I can't say thank you more for that because it helps tremendously. But that being said, when we get through the season of repairs, and we can get to a point where we can breathe and we're not putting out fires constantly, we can start moving into a season of preventative maintenance. That's where you see the income change, because now we're not fixing history.
Mhm.
Now we're doing preventative things, and nothing is a crisis. Nothing is, oh my gosh, we have to do it now. It can be planned similar to our phasing. So, and that's what we're doing. That's what I'm doing. And the North plant, for example, we're going to expand that plant within the next 12 months. My gosh, I certainly hope. That being said, I have parts that I'm not replacing. I have things that I'm band-aiding because I'm looking at a total replacement. So it doesn't make sense to ask you guys to do a full replacement on equipment that will be replaced in the next 12 months. So it's a balance of making sure that we're spending money wisely, but also looking to the future, because the end goal is that I don't get phone calls every single weekend because somebody's alarm went. So that's the goal right now.
Well, I just want the board to know that that's, they're not here every day, so they're not seeing you guys running around fixing all these things, and we've had a tremendous amount of calls. Just seems like every day.
We have
Not every day, but
whether it's water or sewer or the station or what, and I already have another one that's pitching a fit that's on the list to get looked at,
Right.
and it's just
that, that first and second, and even the third phase, I mean, you're talking about 10 years or whatever and more. So things are gonna start breaking, so you gotta fix them. Any other questions for?
So on this report, system usage report,
yes,
you have dated May 1st to June 30th.
correct. We had to run the calculations that way because of how our metering worked. We did not pull a master meter. So
How do we know the usage to June 30th?
it's just, it's the dates that set the whole report that so the billing system only provides. Okay, so when I have the report, I just give a date range, even if it's in the future or not, it will only give me information based off of a billing cycle. So we haven't done the billing cycle for June yet, it just automatically states that date and utilizes the May.
So these were really all just for March,
No, these are from May.
May.
already May.
Yeah. Mhm.
So these are just May then.
May numbers, we won't have June's numbers until, late next week.
So out of this 41% is 1,129,785 gallons that we can't account for.
Mhm.
Those are the ones we're trying to find with these meters and leakage. And out of that 1 million, whatever, 150,000 gallons comes from this. Sunrise Acres.
Correct, the Sunrise Acres is accounted for in the system usage.
Okay, so the missing 41%, the 150 is in that 41%.
No, because it went through a meter, we accounted for it, that's what I did do.
Okay.
So you're wanting the total amount, just say in the last 30 days that we've lost, is that what you're looking for?
Right, the numbers you just gave me, I'm coming up with 1.129 million.
That sounds close. Yes, pretty accurate.
Oh, wow.
Well, water.
That's a lot of water.
I'm just looking at it on financials. If we can cut that 1.0 down, then that's more water we can bill for. So that's,
But no. Water, so water loss is not necessarily water that you can bill for. Because you only have so many connections that can only flow so much water. Water loss, reduction of that is reduction of expenses on the operational side. It's reduction of wear and tear on your pumps, it's reduction of chlorine usage, it's reduction of,
so when if this number goes down, like, we'll say this is just one major leak somewhere,
Mhm.
and you fix the leak.
Mhm.
We're not producing it though,
correct, which is.
so we don't have the cost of production.
Exactly. Yeah, so you don't have,
So by not having the cost of production, then the bottom line on the price per gallon could be lower. I'm
not,
looking at it as for my constituents. if we can become more efficient in producing water and less wear and tear on the equipment, we can reduce our costs.
No, what it does is, so daily operations, routine operations have to stay the same. Where you get your cost reduction in regards to water loss is, we don't have to be on site to fix a leak. We don't have chlorine usage at such a high level. But these are all things that have to continue no matter what. Water loss doesn't translate into lower rates. So, and in fact, you guys are kind of on the low end of rates at this point. So for your constituents, that is the truth. I have a water district in Hamilton that's actually getting ready to do a rate increase because they have similar rates to what you guys are doing, and it's not sustainable by any stretch of the imagination. That's kind of where the water loss comes into play. It's not so much so that we can bill for more water and have more income. It's more that we're not out here chasing water around, and we can focus on things like trees in the road, debris in the road, ditching, things like that.
Okay.
It frees Troy up to be more available to do what he needs to.
Okay. But we still need to find out where this one.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's why I give you guys this number, is so that you guys hold us accountable to continue to working on that. That water loss number doesn't fluctuate with usage, if that makes sense, because it's always based off of produced versus sold. So even if we're in the dead of winter, produced versus sold, that percentage number will always map out consistently. So even though we're in the height of the season come 4th of July, that number, we should still be seeing that number hold steady or go down, barring any unforeseen circumstance, which.
So you find this 1 million gallon leak and you shut it off. Our cost savings would be in manpower, chemical usage,
Wear and tear
wear
on
and tear on
the
the equipment. So that's where your cost savings would be.
that's where it is.
It wouldn't be in, there's no way we could bill for something that nobody bought.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
And it really is 1.1 million gallons of actual water we're losing. It's not a meter problem. It's not a.
And so this water loss, yes and no. So that's kind of what I was saying about the residential meters. So as a residential meter fails, it will always reload at high. So when, for example, when we replaced the meter at the school, and I said this one's a little bit more accurate, it's gonna allow us to bill for more. As that meter fails, it will get less and less and less accurate. So that's kind of part of the project that is in the future for us, is to start systematically replacing the oldest meters in the system. Now, what we do is when we read meters, Dahlia clears the zero use list. So she knows her customers well enough to know that person's not down, they're a part-timer. That person's in the hospital, they're not gonna have use right now. And so we can kind of look at those and say, okay, this is a gauge that this one is absolutely broke, we're still allowing water to go through. We need to get this repaired. That happens, it gets replaced. It's the ones that are just gradually dying off, the warranty is out, we're not reading as accurately as we want to. That gives us a kind of a gap there in the data. So there's that, there's, not to say that it doesn't happen, I don't think anybody would do it intentionally, but there's unmetered illegal connections. They happen all the time. But we don't know about those until somebody says there's water on the ground and we find it. So there are different areas it can be, like I said, not just a leak on the ground. It's very multifaceted and it's not a solid number. Your water's very fluid.
A joke.
Not as good as my 6 cents.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for that, Caitlin.
You're welcome.
I have planning and zoning, if you had anything to say, and I see down here that you are gonna recommend something for us too. So if you wanna, is there anything you need to talk about for planning and zoning?
Revenues are up.
Yes, they are. Thank you very much.
No, planning is always doing well. I'm still trying to find time to really work on those new regulations that we're wanting to get done, but it's difficult to find the time to work on. But we're gonna start getting that ironed out soon. we're doing a lot more variance requests. We had 2 hearings today, which again, those we were never doing before. They weren't even collecting the money. So what we have today collected $1,000 to ensure that that's being done correctly. And then we have the recommendation from planning and zoning to you guys that will handle later in the agenda.
Okay. All right, let's go ahead to the finances. Would we like, somebody like to make a motion if we approve the bills for the month?
I make the motion to pay our bill. Second was.
All in favor? Aye. There are just a couple things I want to mention. First of all, let's do this forgiveness. There's a lady who had a broken hose on her dock or pipe on her dock that she didn't know it was broken. And she's asking for a one-time forgiveness of $231.
I thought we did away with the one-time forgiveness.
I don't think we did. Did we?
No, we did.
No. So her name is Pam. Oh, she's over by me. Pam Petropoulos would like to know if we will let her buy with that $231. Crickets.
It's one of those things that's no use belaboring this, because it'd have to be something that we'd have to do completely outside of this discussion. So I make a motion, we forgive it.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, if
every single time we spend a half hour on this discussion and nothing. comes
all we
from
have
it.
to do, somebody else will just ask for it to be on the agenda if you want to do away with it. But so far, we still have it.
The last discussion I think you guys had was is restricting it to the property, not the property owner or tenant.
You're right.
Yeah. And actually, maybe we need a resolution that actually explains it. And if everybody wants to think about getting rid of it, I'm fine with it.
I have a motion and I have a second. So do you want to
Do we?
I do. I have Michael George as a motion and I have Greg Gordon as a second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Thank you. Okay, another thing. Another ridiculous thing. I received a letter and this person is asking us to suspend his water service until he decides what he's going to do with his property. My initial response is no, because the only way to suspend somebody's service is to remove the meter. And when you want water again, you will pay to have it reconnected, because we can't, we don't turn off water for winter customers. I mean, that's my opinion, but he's asking us to suspend his water service until he decides what he's going to do at the property. So,
I do have a little update on the property.
okay.
So the property, the house that's significantly damaged, his plan is in the next weeks to demolish that home and the other 2 dilapidated buildings on the property.
Mhm.
He does, if he's able to get a very large sewer connection to the property, he has plans to build. If he's not able to get that sewer connection, then he has no plans to build on the property.
Well, and we did talk about this. He can have a sewer connection, but he's gonna have to have plans and he's gonna have to have a building permit and he's gonna have to come in here and tell us that. He can't just say, I'm gonna do something, as the way I see it. That still doesn't take care of the water. The water is there. So,
If he sizes up to what I'm hearing the plans are, we may have to size up this water.
so it wouldn't come from where we were saying.
Explain that.
So he's currently got a 3/4 inch residential service. If he puts in multi-unit apartments, which is what I'm kind of hearing the rumor is, and he's kind of indicated he wants to, we may have to size it up to handle the flow.
Because it would come
It's
from
the-
Oak Star.
Yeah.
Where Oak Star's water and our sewer is, we would run it up the hill to where his property is.
The one that burned down.
The one that burned
Yeah.
down.
So right now, there really is no house there. It's just a
Well, it's a house, but it's a
loss.
It's buildings that are sitting there that are doing nothing, so. So the question on us tonight is, will we let him have free water until he makes up his mind? And when he brings in a building permit and everything,
What do you mean free water?
not free water, but turn it, he wants us to suspend his water bill.
I would just follow the procedures. He's asking what he's asking for. I pulled the meter and when he wanted me to put her back, charge him and put it back in.
So
I mean, that's our procedure.
Yeah, let's run the math here on that real quick.
Yeah.
And I like to do that with homeowners when we present the two options, right? You can either pay the monthly bill or you can pay the new connection fee when we drop a meter back in. At the monthly bill rate, it would take him 44 months to save money versus pulling and doing in a new connection.
Well, and another caveat to this,
44. That's what I'm saying. If you're not gonna do something with the property for 5 years, it makes sense to pull the meter and then let's do a new connection and you can really think through your project and what you might want to do. If you're going to do something very quickly, it doesn't make any sense for them financially to make that choice.
What's the monthly charge with you?
47.
Say it again.
47. He's water on it. Water.
and he's only paying residential water rates and his property is C2.
We don't charge different rate for commercial or residential.
We don't?
It's the same rate.
Same
We
minimum.
don't?
Yes,
Same.
same price.
They just pay more if they go over the floor.
Right.
That's right. They give it over.
Okay. Do we like that?
Well, change that too.
I-
One of the ordinances.
My mind's scrambled right now, but I mean, is it fair for, like, does the school pay the same rate as
Everybody pays the same.
I do?
Everybody pays the same.
Everybody pays the same rate. The caveat to that is if you have a 2-inch meter, which a lot of commercial properties like the school, like the RV parks, like Woods, they all require that size, which is kind of what I was referring to with the Shulman property. We charge a monthly fee for that too. So you do recoup some of that in the aspect of they need that size line, and the meters are obviously more expensive than the residential ones.
Okay.
But then they just pay the overages.
Well, then if we are gonna discuss this with him before we make a decision on it, maybe what we should ask is if you're gonna plan to put 2 multi-unit apartments in there, your little residential line ain't gonna be enough anyway. So why don't we just shut it off for good and you come back and put it in?
And that's why I kind of.
So what's the cost to go out and pull the meter?
Whatever you wanna pay Troy hourly to go and do.
We don't have a.
No, it's just time.
For non-payments, there's a reconnection fee for us to go back out and turn it back on, that gets charged.
But if we just shut it off, there's still a monthly 40,
If you
47.
just shut it off, there's still a monthly fee. If we pull the meter and you physically cannot have water anymore, there's no fee for that. He doesn't get charged for that, but should he want to reestablish water service using that line, it's currently a $2,000 new connection.
2080, 2000. On 44 months. So if he sells the property, then whoever buys it is their property. If
Then he
they,
would have to come in, set up, do a deposit, set up a new water service account. We would transfer the information over to them.
just curious, did anybody talk to Mr. Craig?
Mhm. He's been asking us, he's been talking to us for quite some time.
Does he know does he know this cost? He does.
And he knows why he doesn't have sewer too also. So, I mean, he's been here, Mr. Cragen is a long time resident. And he's got a lot of property in the area. So, I guess what we're saying is that we need to have another conversation with him before we do anything about anything.
I would just, essentially, tell him, here's your 2 options.
Mhm.
Let him make the decision.
Yeah.
But
You agree with that?
Yes, in regards to the sewer service, there's been mention multiple times of it being subbed out. I've not physically seen that, so I can't speak to that. if it is true, the stub is already there for sewer service, it could be an easier install than we think, but again, it goes back to, we need to know what the final plans are. If you're gonna put 8 units, 14 units, however many, we're gonna size appropriately. It's not as easy as just saying it's one home and a residential grinder package.
Okay. Do you have enough information? You can actually have a good conversation with him?
So, yeah, I mean, basically, where we're at now is, we're just gonna have to wait to see what Caitlin says it's gonna cost to get what he would need for those 2 fourplexes to be there. And then once he finds out, because what he told me quote was, is if it's easy, I might do it, otherwise I'm getting too old for this. So we're gonna have to see what Caitlin says the cost associated is to get it there, and then we'll make the decision, yeah, just take it all or send me some new lines.
Okay, and you
Let
did,
him make a decision. It's his financial.
we'll just, I'll let Scott deal with this and also remind him that he has, C2
Nice
and,
thought passing.
I did reiterate to him, he does have a C2, so if he does wanna build those 2 fourplexes, we'll have to rezone to an R3.
And this conversation, just so you guys know, anytime a new connection comes along and they're like, I want water and sewer, my very first thing is to clear through Scott. If you're not zoned for your development, you've got so much work to do with him before I can even touch you. And so this is kind of where, when he's talking multi-unit development, refer to him, they're clear, comes back to me, and we'll size appropriately and start talking about connections for what he would like.
No, I agree.
Everything good?
Let him make it.
so we'll put that on
what
one
he
hold
wants to do.
until we get more information from him. Okay, the next item says dump truck mini. Okay, let me explain where we're at. Troy has been having to borrow equipment from Lori in the way of a mini. That's one on little bitty scoopers. Because he's got that huge backhoe, and when he goes to a lift station that's like in somebody's backyard or on their property or whatever, that backhoe does quite a bit of damage when you're maneuvering it. A mini is something that would really be good for him to use. Now, in saying that, because it is also another piece of equipment, we've talked to Troy about, tell us what you don't use. And what he doesn't use is the dump truck. I know, we just bought the dump truck. So I guess here's a decision we need to decide on.
I thought we had a dump.
Things change. We could outright sell the dump truck and try to retrieve our 39,000 or somewhere close, because they've used it half a dozen times. And try to use that money to buy a mini. Or we keep the dump truck and try to see if we can put it in the budget for next year, which means he won't have access to it until next year. I think it's a piece of equipment that it would really help. It would have helped with all of this. He's already borrowed that mini from Lori 3 times, 4 times.
At least 3 that I'm aware of.
3 times. Now that's gonna get old really quick, because they're gonna say, hey, get your own. I mean, I agree. I mean, it's one thing to have a working relationship, but if we've already borrowed it 3 times, it's probably a piece of equipment that would really work for public work. Up for discussion, what do we got?
Do we have any other equipment that he's not using?
Uses the skid steer and the backhoe all the time.
What's the cost on this mini? I know that's.
They can be
Broad
used from 30 to 35, 6,000.
Do we have any money on the dump?
No,
No loan on it, we paid.
no,
for it.
we paid for that. We used capital expense, I think, for that last year. We do owe on the backhoe. that's on a long lease program. And the skid steer, did we pay for that too? Okay, so we own the skid steer also. So, it's a question of, and like I said, Troy was the one that could answer that question. If he needs a load of something in a dump truck, you can always get that from someone in the neighborhood here. He uses the 1 ton all the time to do patching, so he can put the asphalt in it. So we're talking about a new piece of equipment, or not a new, but a used piece of equipment, somewhere between 30 and 36,000.
Who's asking, can we rent one? Is that what you're saying? Can they just rent one? I mean, how many times?
You can rent one. He would have rented it 3 times now, and I don't know, I don't have.
Yeah, you have to call Midway Rental and find out if.
Yeah, I don't know if they
I know,
do.
doesn't Porter's have, I rented one from Porter's myself. They don't anymore?
Mr. Porter's doesn't rent them.
Yeah, I don't remember what I paid for.
They usually rent.
Yeah.
Like.
It was only a few $100 a day. I rented it for a whole day to move dirt.
So are you guys talking about renting a mini? Or
Yes.
Hours of
Mini.
service also, because a lot of the times when Troy might need it, are they gonna be
There's
open?
not available.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be open.
There's gonna be a break in the middle of the night and he's gotta dig
Correct.
something up.
You said we've borrowed lorries 3 times? Is that this year? already?
That's like.
In the last 6 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, because we've been having all these lift station
Right.
issues, and these are typically somewhere back off the road, so
Right.
it's, and, I know for budget time for next year, we're gonna have to get him some kind of a trailer to haul equipment. And,
Yeah, how is he gonna get that
well,
mini from point A to point B?
right now, he's got an older trailer that he thinks will haul a mini. It's not in very good shape. It's pretty rough. It's sitting out there by Tower 2 and it's pretty rough. So I don't know how
So he's
old
gonna
it
need
is.
a trailer also.
So next
Not
year,
just
we're
the-
talking about a trailer on the budget.
Well, you're gonna have to have a trailer. If we approve this and it gets this right away, you're gonna have to have a trailer to move it.
His plan is the trailer's been using the skid steer to haul it on. Ideally, he'd like to have a trailer we could put both of them on, but he would pull the skid steer off of that trailer,
I think,
load the mini onto it.
I think.
Oh, so are we talking about getting rid of the dump truck and selling the dump truck to
Well,
pay for the
To
mini?
offset, yeah.
To pay for the mini,
Okay.
yes. I mean, if we thought that we were gonna have a great budget, and we do have some excess in the budget right now because we are not doing all the things that were in the budget. But, I'm just trying to get you guys involved in the decision on this because, if he's not gonna use the dump truck, then I think we should sell it anyway, but I certainly wanna try to get as close to what we paid for it as
How old is it?
possible.
How long have we had it?
2 years almost.
Has it been 2 years? Oh,
Almost.
wow, I thought it was a year. But-
Almost 2 years, I think is what he told me.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
What are we using the dump truck for now?
Nothing.
It's got, you said to use a couple times in less.
I think they hauled a couple loads of rock to the tower out there. I think that 1 or 2 times they used it for asphalt. But here's the problem with that whole asphalt thing. When you go to Lynn Creek to get asphalt, you gotta get just exactly what you need, because by the time you get out here and you start throwing it down on the ground, it starts getting cold. So I don't know, if after many discussions about the dump truck, I just don't think they really need the dump truck. So,
I just did a quick Google search. Rent a mini near me.
okay,
So what I just did,
I'm curious of what else showed up on that search.
okay, I got between 125 and 185 a day.
okay,
They cost $30,000.
Mhm.
We could rent the mini 200 times.
And you wouldn't have to pay for insurance on it and all that.
Is that?
You don't have any maintenance, you don't have insurance, you don't have,
well, again, he would have to plan to
Right.
use it.
That couldn't be an emergency.
So
because they don't do
if
rentals
a
overnight.
lift station goes out in the middle of the night or on a weekend or something, sorry, we gotta wait till Monday to
You
get
need
a
a,
lift,
you need a,
to get a mini.
you need a mini to fix a lift station?
If you have to do digging, if you have to dig around that pit to get to the pit.
And the main reason we need a mini is because the backhoe's too big to get in there.
The backhoe serves its purpose for heavy lifting. We need a mini more for precision. So you're talking like when we're working, actually we moved the mini for the old Sunrise Acre repair. They had, beautiful rock all over their yard, no maintenance yard. The backhoe would have destroyed that. The mini was able to kind of minimize our impact on it. We were able to get it right down in there, not move a lot of earth and get in there, get it fixed, get out. If we had done, we could do it with backhoe. It's just not the most feasible. That being said, we use the backhoe to repair the sewer. It's having the right tool for the right job. And I asked Troy when this all started, if you could choose 2 out of the 3 and you had the dump truck, the backhoe, and a mini, which would you choose? And hesitantly, but honestly, he responded the backhoe and the mini because of kind of the season that we're in with all the repairs. And I don't see this ending because even though we're going in with a new phase, I mean, we just had a sewer connection that wasn't connected correctly in the last phase that we had to dig up and repair. So
I just remember this whole dump truck thing. We had to have this dump truck.
What
If
did I say?
If I'm wrong, you can correct me.
No, you're not. Because when I had to bring this
It's
subject up,
Armageddon and
just imagine how I felt.
We gotta have a dump
Put
truck.
it on the agenda.
in regards to scheduling, is it possible? Yes. Is it ideal? No. And one of the things that I try to balance for you guys is customer service and public appearance, right? So if I've got a situation where one homeowner who is extremely understanding is okay being without water for anywhere from 24 to 72 hours, then we'll do that and we'll plan to repair and the rental situation works. That being said, something blows and I drain the tower and we're rolling water across Highway 5, that actually happens, whatever. So it's a discussion.
If we're gonna sell, if we decide we're gonna sell the dump truck, why don't we, if that's what we're gonna do, see what we get for the dump truck. And in the meantime, we can rent, and maybe we can get one of these rental places to reach an agreement with us that if we have an emergency in the middle of the night, they'll allow us to come and get
And
one.
just take.
Right, and come and rent. Well, no, I'll send somebody there to, to sign us out and rent one.
Talk to the owner of
At
the
least-
Midway, and they might be.
At least for now, until we see what we get for the dump truck, if that's what we decide we're going to
I
do,
like that.
instead of just jumping out and buying a mini.
No, that's what I'm here for, is, what do you want to do about it?
You have to look at more than just the cost of the purchase. You have to look at maintenance, insurance, all that goes along with it, because that is an added cost. So, and fuel and all that kind of stuff. Right, wear and tear. If I rent a mini, I use it, I give it back to them, they fix it, they clean it up, they get it ready for the next time. I might not need it, now you might. And I agree with, as a business person, if I own Midway Rental, I would love to have Sunrise Beach as a preferred customer, to where you call me, I'll come out there and I'll open the gate for you.
I don't see where that would be a problem with them, because they're gonna want the business, I would think. And we can just kind of see how it goes.
Does that, I mean, does it help?
Well, if we decide to do that, what would you like to do about the dump? Because it's sitting there doing
If he's
nothing.
not using it, so
Yes, absolutely.
And should I have a
we don't need a dump truck, right?
defined,
I don't think we're out.
Okay. Nice and said.
Water is super cold over here.
should I have a defined amount that we will accept? We paid 39, we've had it for 2 years. I don't know how many miles we've put on it.
Scott, have you looked up what they're going?
So, no, but I haven't, I mean, like, we'd have to put it on an auction and or do sealed bids. But with the auction, the online auction, we could do a reserve.
Even though it's 2 years older, equipment like that goes up in value if it's taken care of, I would think.
Yeah,
So I don't
we got
think we
it.
lose money on it.
It's a 2010, does that sound right, Susan?
I don't know what
Let me
you
find
do.
the text message, I sent George all that information, so it's a 2010 Freightliner, it has a Cummins engine in it. They put a new 3/8 bed floor in it when purchased, and it has 130,000 miles.
No. That's a really
Yeah, for a
decent
diesel.
truck for somebody that wants a truck. So, I would say that if we had to take a 10% drop in what we paid for, it, that we'd probably be, 39,000, so 3,000 or almost 4,000 off, so then you're talking about 35,000.
I'd say we try to sell for a couple thousand over what we paid and see where we go then, and if it
Oh,
comes out.
absolutely, we could put it on there.
Yeah.
42,000, and I just need to know if we're gonna try to sell it, it'd be nice to know what you will accept us selling it for. If we could sell it for at least 35, preferably 42.
I think when we get an offer, we make a decision then and not tell everybody out
Yeah.
there. in the world.
We can't take,
There's people listening, hey, we're getting ready to sell a dump truck. What would you like to give?
We
me?
can't
we can't take an offer, it has to be out.
Well, an auction, fine, but it's something that we could decide then. Right? We don't have to decide right now. I mean,
So our answer on both of this is no mini, if you need it, rent it. And dump truck, we're gonna put it on auction, and if we get a bid, we have to wait till the board meeting to say yes or no.
Well, when I list it, I have to put a minimum I have to put a reserve on it when I list it, so we can't list it and it only get to X amount, it's like, oh, now I don't like it, pull the list.
How often can you change the reserves?
So we could put the reserve at whatever you want it, and then if it's not moving, we could lower the reserve. We can lower the reserve, going up, I don't believe is feasible. The other thing you could do is you can extend, you could do it for a month, you could put it on there for a month. And if it doesn't hit, say you put a reserve for 40,000 on there, and it doesn't hit the 40,000 you want, worst case is the listing didn't sell, and we relist it next month.
Yeah,
Okay, I make a motion that we sell.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay,
Is there a reserve?
is there a reserve?
What's the cost? Are we doing 35,000 as the
Yeah.
reserve?
35,000 reserve?
Or do you want to go lower than that? That's the reserve. You can.
35 is
you can put it
reserve.
higher. That's.
But we're gonna try
No,
to
which
sell
means the minimum that we would.
that we
take.
would
The
take.
minimum we would take would be 35.
Like 39, we paid for it,
Right, but,
but I mean,
To it on the bed and all that too. So
That was included in the 39. Yes.
so is that,
Okay.
we're good with 35 though? Yes.
35 was the reserve.
Okay.
Okay, I'm skipping over the C data center in SEMA because I've already told you about it in my chairman's report. Keith Epperson would like to join planning and zoning. I need a motion to allow Keith Epperson to join planning and zoning. Anybody?
I thought you were over here saying yes.
I don't know, Keith lives in the city.
Yes. You make a motion? All in favor? Aye. Okay. Keith will be sworn in at his leisure before the next planning and zoning meeting. Okay, ordinances. Okay, we have a resolution that we have to do for our SFR state revolving fund. It's just a resolution saying it gives me the power to sign stuff.
Yes. So resolution 2026-12 is a resolution authorizing the filing of an application and associated tasks with the Missouri Department of Natural Resources Financial Assistance Center's funding programs for loans and or grants under the Missouri Clean Water Law. Chapter 644 revised statutes of Missouri RSMO or the Missouri Safe Drinking Water Law. Can I have a motion?
No, do I have a motion?
Sorry.
Motion for
Yeah.
Greg, second?
Second.
All in favor?
I-
I was joking. You weren't at the planning and zoning meeting, Aaron, so that's why I said I have a motion.
Sorry.
Okay,
It's
so.
He was just rusty.
The next is a ordinance that we have been working on for so long.
Okay, so, but I do believe we need to remove section 705.032.
Oh.
Wait, hang on, wait.
Scott,
Say that again.
Section 705.032 under permits and fees. Section A, subsection 1 and 2. Labeled registration fee term.
And why is that?
It's been brought to my attention that we may not be able to do that per Missouri state statute.
We can't put a permit in there?
No, that's the registration.
This is the state statute says that counties can this is the registration for the.
Oh, the thing we added back
So what we
in?
would do instead of adding this is we would just tell the contractors, the workers, that if you do subpar work in our city, or we find out you're doing junk work, what is,
No, she should
what,
get ahead now.
Caitlin is, has
If
a,
you wanna do work for these ordinances in our city, you need to be on the county's approved contractor list, and we will pull the county's list to approve contractors to do that.
instead of them registering with
and if we
us.
have problems that result in us not wanting them to do work on systems in the city, then we would just not renew their business license for that year.
Or report to the county and allow Camden County Sewer to reinforce, which as a contractor, so this ordinance is in relation to on-site sewer systems not currently connected to the existing utilities.
Right.
Okay, so what we have done, and so my company also does the on-site sewer inspection, we're registered with Camden County to do these things so they can issue their permits to these people. If we have a situation where we don't receive payments in full, repairs are not completed, they don't pass inspection, so on and so forth, we report all of that to the county and allow them to handle that. So that is essentially if we have somebody who's not compliant, who's doing shady things, who is, I don't even know, just generally not following rules, we would go ahead and share that information with them.
So does that mean that we're not voting on this
No,
today?
you vote on it, just, you can vote on it with the remove, pending the remove.
Pending the removal of,
So is this gonna be a first reading, and then we'll do a second reading?
I don't,
Because usually when I'm.
What are we removing?
you don't have to.
No, I know, I said, sometimes we do, so we're changing it.
What, pardon me?
What are we removing?
We're removing,
Under five or
this one,
three,
we're removing the part that says they have to come to the village and register.
Okay, so
What section?
We're removing 32,
Right.
And then
And that number is on.
2,
which one is that? Is that page?
section 1 and 2.
Number, what is it, page 3? I didn't hit that, but it's there.
This is, think of that number, like not
It's the part that says that you have to register with the village. This one right here.
yeah,
And it goes all the way over here that says that you have to register with the village. And what she's saying is they already have to register with the county. So just those two things.
We interpret on subsection 1, subsection 2. So they still have.
We need to.
Okay, so Aaron, I have the recommended changes.
Okay,
Under registered service technician, the definition, the last 3 of the revised state statute would be 052, not 053. And
That's the actual section. Your code, not the state statute.
okay, so when remove RSMO, because that's not,
Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry, that would be, that is the original, never mind.
okay, never mind, leave the 053.
Sorry.
The only thing we're going to change then is the removal of subsection A1 and A2 under permits and fees, 705032, currently labeled as registration and registration fee term. Removal of those 3 paragraphs.
Okay. So are you saying if we have a motion to approve this without those 4 paragraphs, one, two,
The
three,
removal of
with the,
subsection A1 and A2.
with the removal of section A1 and that we can pass this today?
You would have a motion to amend the ordinance as presented. You would approve the amendment, and then you would take a motion to approve the ordinance.
Okay,
So let's do that.
so can I have a
Motion to.
motion to amend the ordinance? And Scott, you can make sure that you show Aaron an
I'm
exact,
logging on to Word and changing it.
okay. A motion to amend this ordinance as was stated.
I make a motion to amend resolution 2026-12A, to amend it as discussed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, now can I have a motion to approve the amended ordinance 2020, whatever it is, 6?
Motion to approve
2602.
the amended ordinance.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so this is ready. As soon as you take that out, got to give it to Eco. We've been trying to get this thing paid forever. Okay. Now, we already did that. We already did that. Okay, so at this time, I would like to have, to ask our guests to let us have a closed session.
Are we doing that before planning and zoning recommendation?
Worth planning and zoning.
On the rezoning of the 4 parcels.
Oh, I thought we already did that.
Nope.
Okay, back to the
Amend
planning
the
and zoning. So, does everybody know what it is?
I don't know, I didn't.
It's not in
I
our
didn't
books.
get a copy.
You told me that you were gonna discuss, that's not me.
So,
I don't have a copy.
at the planning and zoning meeting on Monday, there was a recommendation from Planning and Zoning Commission to allow the rezoning of a small parcel off of Beechwood. Right here is part of the alien acres where he's hoping to build a single family residential. The whole property was zoned agriculture. When it was subdivided, the zoning was never changed. Agricultural must be a minimum of 3 acres, so it's a non-conforming. He's requesting that it be rezoned from agriculture to R1, which is it's a lot of what that area is. The other 3 lots are off the other side of Hawk Lake, just past Arthur's campground. One of the lots is and always has been a residential home since before planning and zoning. That whole section, whenever it was the planning and zoning was created, was adopted as C2. And it's always been an idea of it being a residential. So those 3 neighborhood or lots are requesting an R1. It's actually the owners and me as the zoning official requesting those changes because I believe that the city made an error back in 2009 by zoning those as commercial and not residential. But we just need a motion and vote from the board to approve the amendment to the zoning maps.
Okay, and so the 2 separate ones, the first one being the alien
There's
acre,
4 total.
right,
The first one would be Alien Acres.
and of 3 lots of Hawk Lake.
and the 3 separate lots
Okay.
in Hopkins.
So we are, making a motion to approve the planning and zoning recommendation of rezoning.
To accept it and authorize me to change the zoning map.
Can somebody say
Motion to
that?
do what he just said.
Anyone want to second that motion? All in favor? Aye. Oh, my goodness. Okay, now,
Before we go to closed session, you and I talked about, we used to get a public works report of things that were going on besides water and sewer,
Mhm.
like repairs, things that public works has been doing. Can we go back to doing that?
I had asked Dahlia, because Dahlia does all the planning for Public Works, if she would mind each meeting that we're going to have, if you just come up with a short list of all the stuff that Troy did that week, month.
Real quick,
Okay,
everything she just told you, that's what Troy was.
yeah, they've been fighting more than
Well,
Well, in addition to that, if streets get repaired.
he and I,
Any of
he
that.
and I were paving Beechwood together,
And then I called him up.
and then we had an emergency, we had to get off that, which is the repair.
They fixed the potholes that were over there, yeah.
And so Troy did also too, along that note, we had a pretty severe washout at the north plant that exposed my outfall like pretty significantly, and so he had to come back. It washed out 6-inch riprap.
Yeah.
See stuff like that, so that not only do we know, but the citizens hear what our public works.
And I can tell you guys too, this, I know nobody's doubting the work that Troy's doing at all, but I do want to reiterate that he's been very wonderful for my department to work with as far as helping us with getting some things cleared that we need to, and planning on getting some new street signs and posts installed. So it is very nice to have that working relationship with him. He's absolutely killing it.
Yeah.
Me too.
He
But-
never says no.
But Dahlia, would you do that for us for every board meeting then? Just kind of just put something together that shows what Troy's been up to. We used to have Andy come in and he would say some stuff, so if you could do that.
Thanks, Gene.
And if you're not gonna be here, you can just put some on paper and
To review other roads, and that would be everything.
there you go. How easy was that? Okay, now can we have a motion to go into closed session?
A motion to go into closed session.
Second, all in favor?
It's a roll call vote.
It's a roll call.
Craig Wood,
Yes.
Charlene Hayes. Susan Schneider.
Yes.
Yes.
Bye.
See you, Jim.
Okay.